Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our monthly client training, Anewgo Amplify with our very own VP of Sales, Beth Byrd. So today's topic is very exciting for me personally since marketing, naughty and nice list. So we're gonna go over what we see clients doing really well and maybe some of the mistakes that we see that are easily fixable. So with that, I'm going to be monitoring chat as always. And Beth, please take it away.
Thank you, Anya. I'm excited to bring you all a special holiday edition of Anewgo Amplify with our naughty and nice list. Now, a couple of disclaimers. I am not going to give any names of who is on our naughty list. That would not be kind. I'm just going to talk about some of the things that I see that are just big misses. You're just losing opportunity for what you've already invested in. So that's what we're going to talk about on the naughty list. And I am going to share some examples on the nice list from some of our clients, builders who are doing a really good job at different things. And I also want to say this is not all. Our nice list would be very, very long if I put everybody on there. But for the sake of time, because I like to try to keep these trainings really quick for you guys, I know you don't have all day to watch a webinar. I've just highlighted a few. Okay, so that said, let's get started. First on the naughty list are the people who are making it hard to find their app on the website. And we see this in a few different ways. First, I can tell right away by the traffic on the back end and insights how well the app is implemented on your website. And typically there are a few problems. The first one is it takes too many clicks to get there, or there's only one way to get there. So they're two opposites, but both lead to the same problem. So if I have to click through so many different steps to get there, I may not make it through all the clicks and I may jump off. Or if there's only one place on your website to even enter the tool, then I'm not as likely to find it because I've got one chance to see that call to action to jump into the app. And if I've missed it, well, I've missed it. The second would be unclear messaging, not explaining or making it obvious to the clients, what does this do anyway? Why would I want to click on this button? And sometimes it's as simple as choosing the right words that make this a benefit to the buyer. You know, in sales training, we talk about not just talking about features, but the benefit to the consumer. The same thing is true with the tech on your website. You need to explain the benefit of the product to the client. And the third is poorly implemented iframes. We see this all the time, where the iframes just are clunky, they're ugly, the background isn't jiving with the background on your website. There's just lots of poor implementation. So if you have questions, we will help you with that. All of the website providers that we work with have done a really good job for some clients of implementing this. So I know it can be done, and I'll show you some examples here on our nice list. And the nice list is really sort of the opposite of the naughties. It's making it easy to find your app on your website. So the first way to do that is create multiple points of entry. Don't just have one spot on your website where they can get into your app. Have multiple points on floor plans, on site plans, even on a floor plan page. And I'll show you that in a minute here. Number two, a clear message of why the app benefits the customer. We just talked about this. Why should I click on this button? Give me a reason. Let me know what this is going to do to help me. And then, of course, properly implemented iframes are crucial. So let's look at a few examples. And let's start with Harbor Homes. Here we'll jump into live. Here you'll see on their website here, design your home. And iDesign opens this page here where they tell the story about building your perfect home has never been easier. It explains it, and then the button says, design my home with iDesign. And when I click that button, their app opens in a new tab. And a new tab, I will tell you, is the best mobile experience because you're not dealing with double scrolls in an iframe and a smaller window. Our app is mobily responsive, so letting it open in a new tab like this really gives the buyer the best mobile experience. And I love how Harbor has done that. If you continue down the page, they tell more of the story, like how to navigate it. What can you do? Here's another call to action. They've even made a video, and I love that they've branded this for themselves. iDesign. They've come up with their own name for the program. They've even put in here frequently asked questions, which is like gold star for Harbor Homes for this, because this is phenomenal for SEO and AEO. So good job, Harbor. All right, let's jump back and look at Kindred. I love what Kindred has done here. Let me close a couple other tabs. There we go. I love what they've done. I'm on a plan page, okay? And I'm scrolling down and looking at the elevations. And then look at this section. It says personalize your home. And there's a great little video playing showing an interactive plan, an interactive map. And then the text here says, bring your future home to life with our interactive home selection tool. It calls out the key features, customize your favorite plan, select your home site, design your exterior. And this button here is awesome. Build your idea of home. What a great benefit to the buyer that's going to call them to hit that button. So good job to Kindred Homes. You are on our nice list this year. Okay, let's look at a couple more examples. Oh, I'm out of present mode. Let me get back there. There we go. Okay. This builder did a really good job with a very streamlined iframe. So let's scroll up the page so you can see at the top, this is their plan page for the Jasmine. They've got their photo gallery. They've got their elevations here. And as I scroll down, their interactive floor plan, this is just a really nice, simple implementation. It's not busy here. It flows with the rest of the page. It really looks very natural the way that they have implemented in their site. So good job to them. And let's see another example. This was another really clean example of an iframe. This is their floor plan page for the Saybrook. And as I scroll down to elevations, I can see immediately that I'm designing the elevation. So not only am I showing them what does it look like, but I'm getting them involved very quickly in that process. So they did a really good job of implementing their iframe on their website. Let's go to our next naughty list. This is limited information or details. Another reason I see builders struggling with the usage of people in their app is because there's not a whole lot in there. Their plans don't have square footages. Maybe their inventory has no pictures. I didn't note it on here, but pricing is a big one, and I know that can be hard to implement. But the less information you have, the less that people are going to be getting involved. Another big one, skipping lot exclusions. You all probably know you can set which plan is available on which home site. And if you don't use those lot exclusions, a buyer doesn't know whether you offer the plan on the lot or not. And it's really frustrating to them and frustrating for the salespeople when the customer shows up wanting to build plan A on lot 22. And I'm sorry, you can't do that plan on that lot. That really creates frustration for the buyer. So let's look at what the other side of that is. Lots of detailed current information, complete data, pricing. And I will say option pricing is very nice. That gets you to the top of the nice list. Again, it can be challenging to nail down those prices. I know sometimes there's also a fear of what about my competitors looking at that information? The truth is they're going to find out anyway. So why not focus on making this easy for the buyer? We see increased option spend when that information is easily accessible to the buyer. So we highly encourage that. And also remember, we can connect directly to your ERP to pull that option pricing in. So if you have questions about that, get with me later. Also, current pricing, lot statuses, availability, keeping all of that updated is great for the customer. It's also great for your sales team. I know my sales team knew that they needed to use the Anewgo maps that they had as the best source of truth for what was available or not available, because we kept them very quickly updated. So it's very important to do that. So I'm going to show you two builders that really do a great job at this. In Garman Homes, you probably aren't surprised I'm going to show this to you. I'm going to jump through. You can see I have elevation specific pricing. A, B, and C are all different prices. And then I can see different exterior schemes, and some of them that are upgraded schemes are even priced out, which is amazing. Then when I go to the floor plan, again, all my floor plan options are priced out. Every step of the way, I can even pick a kitchen design and then pick my lot. So there's just a lot of really good information available on the Garman site for their clients. Let's also look at New Home Inc. And there are a couple things I want to point out on the New Home Inc. page. I'm on one of their floor plan pages, the Brunswick. So back to the first nice list. One of the things that New Home Inc. does well, they have a button here, personalize this floor plan, that opens the app in a new tab, again, best on mobile. But if somebody misses that button, as you scroll down the page, the floor plan will load here with an iframe to the app as well. So they've got multiple points of entry. That's what I was talking about earlier, multiple points of entry in the app. But back to this point on the nice list, lots of details. So 1830 square feet, starting at 351,700. I can mirror the plan, and then I can start adding my options that are priced out. And even look at this pocket office. I'm at 1830 square feet. If I add the pocket office, now I'm at 1885. My square footage is responsive. There's a lot of really good detail in here, even sub options. So I choose this kitchen cafe alternate layout. Then I can also choose the garage door alternate layout. So lots of good information for me to research my options ahead of time. And I'm more likely to buy more of these options when this information is accessible to me. All right, next naughty list, doing nothing and expecting to get traffic. Sometimes we see builders saying, I'm not getting any traffic on the app, but they're not utilizing it properly. They're not promoting it. If you don't talk about it, how are they going to know it's there? In fact, sometimes I even find out marketing knows about the tool, but sales doesn't know at all. And that's a huge miss if your sales team isn't aware of this amazing resource that they could be using in their presentations. Not leveraging the complementary tools or features. There's a lot of different things that your Anewgo tools can do that you're probably not using. So if you have questions about that, let's schedule a time and I will just go through all your resources with you and figure out, what are you not using? What are you missing that would really help you if you added those features in? And the last one is leaving stories untold. And I'll give you an example of that in a minute. But there's just so much that's valuable to talk about in terms of visualization for the home buying process. And if you don't talk about it, it's not going to get you traffic. So on the nice list are those that tell stories and leverage their content. And when I say tell stories, I'm talking about, let's use videos and virtual tours to tell the story. Let's put more interesting and more complex visuals in front of them to help them imagine that finished product. Or let's use social media and email blasts and blogs to leverage the content. Some of my most popular email blasts were those that were pushing people to design using my Anewgo tools when I was a builder. And the third is expanding the customer experience on site. So taking the technology that's on your website and implementing that in your sales center. And I'll give you a couple examples of that. Here, let's start with Riverside Home Builders. And they did two of the things that I just talked about here. So we're on their blog and they have a post here introducing our new home sales center partnered with Anewgo. They plugged in our Sales Center app into several of their model homes. So first, they're extending the experience to the customers who walk in the model. But second, they talked about it. They told their buyers, hey, come in. Here's a new reason to visit the model home. We've got this great new technology. And they explained all of the reasons that this is going to be beneficial to them. So they did a really good job of leveraging their tools and talking about it. Good job, Riverside. And then this was a really different example I wanted to show you from Keystone Custom Homes. Sometimes we think about a sitemap as just a very plain, flat asset. This is an amazing example of telling the story of what the land can and will be when the homes are built out. So go beyond that flat static map and create a very simple video like this. This is something our studio team created for them. It's quick, but how much more impactful is this if they're trying to sell these 5 home sites, to plug this in on Facebook or an Instagram reel or on their website? This really comes to life. It gives context to where these home sites are in the area, and it's a much more interesting visual than we had before. Okay, that is the end of my naughty and nice list. I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us today. Again, if you have questions, if you want to be on my nice list next year, you realize you might be on the naughty list this year, reach out to me. Be glad to help you go through all your Anewgo tools and figure out how to leverage them better.
Well, thank you, Beth. That was great information as always. And yeah, are you on a nice or naughty list? Hopefully, you're all on a nice list learning here. And then if you are on the naughty list, definitely reach out to Beth. She'll set you up. Thank you again for joining us today, and we will see you next month in 2026. So have happy holidays, everyone. Whatever you celebrate, enjoy hopefully some time off and get a little bit of relaxation. And we start off at it again in 2026.
Bye.
Bye.